Hello, my friend, and welcome to the podcast. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you are back for more, thank you so much. I know you have so many choices when it comes to podcasts. So thank you. I'm glad you're here. And today you're getting a real life coaching moment because this episode was inspired by a client that I'm currently working with. And she sent me this boxer message. She said this: last week did not end up like I planned. I helped my sister with a doctor's appointment. I feel behind, working to get out of my head and out of the should haves and focusing today. And oh my gosh, can't we all feel that of feeling behind, even though you did something that was a priority, but you feel behind on your to-do list. And on top of that, you've got the mental load of thinking, I should have done this. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. There's a lot of mental stuff going on there. So I responded with a message that I'm going to share with you today. And the overall goal or the overall idea is this: you are not behind. You just need to rearrange. So if you're feeling behind or off your plan, this episode is definitely for you. And I want you to save it for when you need it, because maybe it's for you today, but you're probably going to need it again. Or if it's not for you today, save it because it will be, because we all fall off our plan. And a special shout out to the client who said yes, that I could use this. Thank you so much. Because as soon as I heard it and I responded to her, I knew everyone feels this. And I reminded her that she's not alone. And so I thought, I'll share this on the podcast. So when we get thrown off of our plan, it takes a toll on us. And it doesn't just take a toll on the to-do list that you're looking at. It takes a toll on us mentally. And that's the biggest thing I want to talk about today, because we get into this, we've lost the momentum mode, and you feel like you're behind, and you start telling yourself this story. And if this does not resonate with you and you don't get thrown off, or like when you get thrown off, you don't resonate with this, in terms of the mental conversation that we have, then you don't have to listen to the rest of this episode. But for the majority of us, we start to tell ourselves stories of being behind, and then it is really, really, really hard to get back into the groove. And when I was thinking about this, I thought about the analogy of, when you fill up like some type of a wagon or a wheelbarrow or something like that with dirt. And so I'm thinking about this because it's the season when I'm recording this. It's the season of gardening and being outside and all of this. And so I'm remembering the moment when I filled a wheelbarrow up with dirt and I had to get it going. So I had to actually pick it up and get it going. And it is very, very, very hard to do that because you don't have any momentum. So you're sitting there and you're like, and if you're like me, you've probably filled it up too much and it's really heavy. And so you have to pick it up and get it moving. And those first few inches are the hardest. And that is what you're feeling right now. You're feeling like, I have just filled this up with so many things. There's so many things on my to-do list that I don't even know what to do with this wheelbarrow. I cannot get it going. And it's possible, my friend. It is possible, but you have to rearrange. You have to rearrange those things that are in that wheelbarrow or in that wagon, because otherwise it could be so hard to get going that you don't even start going. So what I want you to do is think about however you manage your to-do list. And I don't care how you do it, digitally, paper, on a whiteboard, whatever it is, but I want you to think about it and how you can apply this. Let's say you've got your week planned and it's all visually beautiful and you have it perfectly laid out. And then on Tuesday, you were thrown off track for whatever reason. You come back and it's late in the day on Wednesday and now you're feeling stuck. You only did about 1 out of the 10 things you were supposed to do or that you said you were going to do on Tuesday. So you've got, 9 things piled up, and you have the other days, Thursday and Friday, already planned. So you've got a lot. It's a lot in that wagon, right? You've got so many things. You're feeling all of the feelings, the mental load. And so what I want you to do is go through this step-by-step process. So number 1, I want you to remind yourself that you're not failing. You simply prioritize something. And at this point, I want you to recognize you did that and you are creating the business, and you already have the business to give you the flexibility to do that. So when you prioritize your health, your family, your whatever, celebrate that. The fact that you did that in such a great way, because otherwise you would be thinking the opposite. Oh, I did these things I should have been at the hospital. I should have been at the doctor's appointment. I should have been XYZ. So you would have been feeling that. So let's celebrate that and recognize all I have to do is rearrange. Step number 2 is to evaluate your capacity for the rest of the week, or however this is looking for you. The example is Tuesday you were thrown off, you come back on late Wednesday, you have to look at Thursday and Friday. So I want you to ask yourself, what realistic time do I have on Thursday and Friday? And identify a number of hours. Be very, very clear. And then step number 3 is to actually rearrange all of those tasks. So you had 9 tasks that you had for Tuesday and however many you had on Wednesday, because Wednesday is kind of a crapshoot anyway, because you're coming back and you've got to rearrange and do all these things. And so you're really looking at Thursday and Friday. You already had those planned too. So now you've got this list. This is where the wagon feels full. And so what you have to do is think about, okay, I have this amount of time on Thursday and Friday. You already identified that number. Now I have to see this list, and I have to see this list in a list of priority. So I want you to actually rank them. This is the most important and go down. And everything's going to feel important, but I need you to have a very specific list. And then go from top to bottom. And you simply put that you rearrange that task to Thursday or to Friday, and everything that doesn't need to be on that specific time gets moved to another week, or it gets deleted. Because this is an amazing part. When you get thrown off and you have to rearrange things, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't even need to be doing this thing. Or that was something that could have been done at another time. So you could delete things in this process because you get really good clarity. So that's step 3. Then step 4 is I want you to reward yourself with something, because what you just did was very freaking hard. It was looking at that wagon, looking at that and seeing, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I have to do. How am I going to fit it all in? There's stuff spilling over. And you realized, actually, I can do this. I prioritize the right thing in my life, and I'm going to take some of this stuff from the wagon out. I'm taking it out. It's not going to happen this week, and that's okay. So it's going to lighten the load. You're going to pick up the handles and push the wagon across the yard to where you need to go, because you rearrange things. And so what I want you to think about is, how can you reward yourself for doing what you just did? Because you did a really big thing and it was really hard, and that prioritization is very hard. And I want to add one more note to this, because I'm using the term prioritization a lot, and I'm doing that on purpose, because what my client ended up falling into, and has fallen into a few times, is that she feels like she should have done something, and she feels like she's procrastinating something, but when in actuality, she's prioritizing. And so there is a very big difference between procrastinating and prioritizing. So when you prioritize your health, your family, your friends, and you do something and make that the priority, that is prioritization. If you are simply not doing the task, and at the end of the day, you're not getting to all the tasks that you said you were going to do, either you had too many on your plate to begin with, or you found yourself procrastinating and you scrolled Instagram or you did other things so that you didn't have to do the thing that you didn't want to do. And so it's very important to identify that. If you are procrastinating, you need to dig a little deeper and understand why that's happening. But if you're prioritizing someone else, like yourself or someone else's health or whatever the case is, and that was the priority, recognize that you're doing amazing, because that's why you built this business. And so you need to identify which one of those things it is and celebrate when you're prioritizing what you said you wanted to when you were building this business. And so the accountable action that I want you to take today is realize if you're prioritizing or procrastinating in this moment. If you're thrown off track right now, I want you to take that, go through those steps and actually identify what you can rearrange, and do so in a great way. And If you're not doing that and you just wanted to listen to this, I want you to save this episode because you will be thrown off at some point in your life. And this episode will get you back on track and realizing prioritization is something that you wanted to do in your life and in your business. And so we need to celebrate when it happens. So thank you for listening today. Thank you for joining today. I am so grateful you're here, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And until next time, keep being accountable.